Here, I'd like to show you one of my new purchases that I'm very pleased with. If you target shoot for practice or for sport or competition, you know that paper targets are fine. They're inexpensive. Gives you a permanent record of how well you've been doing, whether or not you're improving at all. But in some ways it's not very satisfying, and sometimes it's kind of hard to tell where you've hit or if you hit on target if you're shooting from any distance at all, because the holes, with at least with 9mm full metal jacket ammo, are kind of small sometimes. And if you're just wearing safety glasses and not your prescription glasses, sometimes you really can't see all that well what you hit. So I thought about setting up something like this stand and maybe hanging some frying pans from it or something, and talked to some guys at the gun shop about that, and they cautioned me to not shoot frying pans because they were actually so brittle that you could break them, and they could also ricochet the bullets back at you. Well, I'm glad that I talked to those guys before I did something stupid like that. And they told me about AR-500 steel targets. Now, I knew that there were steel targets that people used at the ranges. I just didn't know any of the specifics about it. After doing some research, I found a company called Challenge Targets, and I purchased 2 of their targets because all of the features that they have are really pretty special. So we got this one. This is a 10-inch round pistol target. It's made out of AR-500 steel plate. It's a 1/4 inch thick, and if you notice, this little plate is mounted with 2 carriage bolts on springs to this piece that slips over a standard 2x4. And then they also have a stake kit that fits in the ground that you can tighten those 2 screws to hold the 2x4 in. You take the whole target and you lean it forward somewhat, and when you shoot it with 9mm ammo from 10 yards or greater, basically the bullets fragment, they disappear. And they also chip off the paint and leave a nice little hole, or not a hole, but a spot where you can see where you hit the target. But they don't make any indentation into the steel plate. And the best part of it is you get a satisfying ding ding sound every time you hit the target, which I love that. So not only did I get this 10-inch round target, which is a lot of fun to shoot, but we also got this profile target. So I'm calling him the Terrorist. And obviously with this you can practice headshots and body shots. Again, same thing. Stake kit in the ground holding a 2x4. And he is also mounted with 2 carriage bolts. And I've been having a lot of fun with these. It's like I said, it's real rewarding to hear that ding ding every time you hit the target, and you can see where you've hit. Now these, I recently just put a new coat of black spray paint on them so that I can go back to seeing where I hit, because after about a week of shooting these things, I basically shot all the paint right off of them. So they got a fresh coat of paint, and I'm anxious to get back out here and practice again. Still doing paper target shooting, but gotta admit, I really like these steel targets from Challenge Targets. Highly recommend them. I think this one was like $180 bucks, and this one was $150 or somewhere in that range. It was about $300 for both of them, plus shipping.